In one of my coaching sessions the other day, a new manager who I'm working with said that they feel like their team's therapist, which rang a bell, resonated with me, shall we say. And it resonates with a lot of managers, not just new managers, because as a new manager or a manager, we want to build trust with people. We want them to tell us things that are troubling them at work, tell us what problems they've got so we can help work with them on them. We want to hear what they've got to say. But unfortunately, at times, this can cross over into more you turning into what's been termed as like being their therapist, and it's not necessarily always about work things either. Sometimes it can be about personal things, home life, a whole mix. It's very difficult to just then navigate that and find that balance, because what's likely happening to you, what happened to me, is you're starting to take all of that on. You're starting to take all that emotion on, and it's quite tiring and it's quite draining. And then what's happening is you don't have enough room for other team members and their needs, and you certainly don't have enough for yourself or your loved ones or your family, because you're just taking on way too much. So it's important when you're building trust and you're doing these one-to-ones with people that you do set those boundaries early on, and you do explain to them, like, these are the things that you're here for, and maybe these are the things that you're not here for. So when I say, you can tell me anything, maybe be a little bit more specific around that, in terms of you can tell me anything about the work life. And sometimes that does cross over into personal life, and I get that. I'm not saying there has to be this straight divide line down, but if you start to feel like you've gone over it, you'll know exactly if you are, because you will be watching this going, yeah, I think I'm there. And that's probably where you are. You're at that time where you need to draw that really clear line now and draw the boundary, because you need to protect yourself as well. So one way you can do this is speak to a HR team if you've got one. If you don't, maybe have a look at the employee benefits if there are some. And there might be things in there that you weren't aware of. So a lot of companies that I've worked at have had wellbeing packages put in. So in the contracts, there's wellbeing packages that you can access, and that's in the form of paid counselling sometimes. Sometimes that's a phone line that people can call for help and advice on specific things. Sometimes there's also different peer systems that people could access. So sometimes there's other avenues that you can signpost people to. And sometimes just a reminder that, for me, I'm not qualified to talk about this. I really think you should seek some more professional help. You can then signpost them to whichever one it is that you find. If you don't have any access to something like that, you still need to set the boundary. It is not your responsibility as their manager to be their therapist as well. And you need to find a way to explain that to them and say to them, look, maybe you should look at some guidance or some external support for this. Have you got anybody? Have you got anyone you can call upon? Because if you continue doing that, you will become exhausted, and it's not sustainable for you or them. And also, you're not qualified to give them advice on different things like that. That's not what you're there to do. You're there to help and lead and grow them in professionally. But when it comes to more personal matters like that, that's not what you're there for, and that's okay for you to set that boundary. Before you go, can you do me a quick favour and like and subscribe? This is a new channel, so any help to grow and share it would be appreciated. Don't forget to comment below and let me know if there's anything else you'd like to see. And if you know someone who could benefit from this video, don't keep it a secret. Share it with them via the share button. Thanks.